This is the story of how being offered statins at 25 completely changed the way I look at health and why I decided to challenge the default path. If you're watching this, chances are you've had a struggle with your health too. Maybe you're realizing it's getting harder and harder to go through a full day without feeling drained all the time. And you miss the opportunity to hang out with your friends and your families, all because you know you just can't keep up. Maybe your labs are drifting in the wrong direction, and your doctor is talking about adding pills that you remember your father used to take. Or maybe you're doing all the right things, and your body still does not respond the way it should, and now you're noticing how it's impacting your performance at work. I get it, this is frustrating, and I've been there too. But what I'm about to share with you is not just about weight loss, blood sugar, or blood cholesterol. It's about why health is more than a few numbers to fix all the time, and how to rebuild it so it can support the life that you want to live. Whether you're struggling with low energy, feeling stuck with your results, and constantly worrying about losing your edge, this video is for you. Because deep down, you know there must be a better way than just stacking up pills. For a long time, I thought I was doing fine. I exercised regularly, I played sports whenever I could, and I ate what I genuinely believed to be healthy. I looked like the last person who should be worried about their health. But 8 years ago, things slowly started to feel off. I was 25, in my last year of medical school. I was still doing all those things, but I was carrying a little bit of belly fat that I couldn't really get rid of, even with hours and hours in a gym and doing crunches like 5 times a week. My sleep was terrible, and the worst part, I couldn't go through a full day without needing a nap in the afternoon or a third cup of coffee just to be able to stay functional. So at work, I was performing at like 50%, and off work, I couldn't just join my family gatherings or hang out with my friends because I was tired all the time. So I did what any medically trained professional would do. I ran a full blood workup, and when the results came back, I was in shock. My cholesterol levels were through the roof, my liver enzymes were way out of range, and the markers of inflammation in my body were alarmingly high. I remember staring at those numbers, feeling confused, just trying to make sense of it all. I was asking myself, what about all those workouts that I've been doing? What about all those meals that I'm preparing for myself? So I took the results to my mentors for consultation, and all of them said something similar. Ali, you need to exercise a bit more, and you need to eat better. But more importantly, you should start on statin to reduce the risk. It's fair to say that it didn't sit well with me at all. Not because the statins are bad or anything, but because I thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing for my health, and still, the solution offered to me was the exact same solution I was offering patients in clinics every day, to those who weren't doing even half of what I was doing. It seemed like an automated response. Just add some pills, manage the numbers, move on with that. I remember thinking, if this is where I end up while doing all of those things, what will happen if I get older and I just can't keep up with all this? Having gone through this experience myself made me show up in clinics with a different presence. I was observing with a different lens. I was watching capable people, incredible people, business owners, founders, professionals, parents, those who were disciplined in almost every aspect of their life, coming into the clinics, not seeking how to get healthier, but asking how to mask the decline that they've already accepted as part of a normal aging process. Things like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, but more than that, paying more for their insurance, paying out of pocket for prescriptions, and missing time at work, losing focus in the meetings, and more importantly, missing out on the moments with their loved ones. And the conversations were almost identical. This runs in my family, I don't have time to work out or prepare my meals. What pill should I take, doctor? Just tell me. And the solutions were just as predictable. Adding pills, coming back in a few months, adjusting the dose, or adding another medication. Around the same time, I was watching this pattern play out in my own family too. I had lost close family members to the exact same conditions. Not suddenly, but slowly and painfully. I watched their lives gradually narrow. More pills, more restrictions, less energy, less freedom. And at that point, I thought to myself, I cannot ignore this anymore. This is not an option anymore. I have to find a way. At first, I did what most people would do, chasing better tactics, more tactics, hustling more. I remember I followed almost every trendy diet that I watched on YouTube or on social media: carnivore, paleo, keto, and even vegan. I also remember I tried so many workout routines. I remember signing up for gym memberships left and right. I stacked supplements, and I even remember I tried out, experimented with herbal remedies too. Some of these strategies helped, temporarily of course, but most of them left me even more drained, and none of them were sustainable. Everything felt imposed, forced, like another version of that statin, just wrapped up in a different packaging. I honestly reached the point that I felt stuck and disappointed, almost ready to accept that it is what it is. Maybe I should start taking statins. But instead of giving up, I paused. I decided to step back and return to basics. I spent about a year learning more about lifestyle medicine and behavior sciences. I dived deeper into nutrition, movement, stress management, sleep optimization, and even human connection, not as isolated tools, but as part of my daily life. And finally, that was the moment that things started to make sense in my head. I realized I was massively overcomplicating health for myself, while the solution was right in front of my eyes. The problem was I was doing things super randomly, adding more chaos to an already overwhelmed system. I also realized that I was obsessing over what are the best things to do, the perfect things to do for my health, and I was missing out on two important factors: when to do things and also how to make them fit into my life. So this time around, instead of adding a new habit, I decided to upgrade whatever I was already doing. For every change, I paid attention to the action itself, the timing of it, and also the structure around it. Because this time, the goal was simplicity and sustainability. So I layered habits gradually instead of overhauling my whole life. Within 2 months, everything started to change. I lost more than 20 pounds, mostly from my midsection, and for the first time, I could actually see my abs without even trying for it. My energy came back. I was no longer relying on caffeine or nap or resting in mid-afternoon just to be able to perform at work. I could actually enjoy my time off work with my family and my friends. Also, when I rechecked my labs, the results felt almost magical because my cholesterol level was significantly down, my liver enzymes were in range again, and those markers of inflammation, they were gone. Something that I never saw in my clinics with my patients, even when they were on pills. But the best part wasn't those numbers. I felt light. I felt free. I felt like my health finally has a rhythm. I don't have to constantly manage it. And that was when I knew I had to help others feel that level of freedom too. So I packaged everything that I've learned and I experimented with into a simple protocol. One that brings together physiology, behavior, and rhythm into repeatable steps. When one of my early clients came to me, he was in his 50s. He had prediabetes, and by that time, the only way he could manage his blood sugar levels was with medication. But he refused to accept this fate for himself. He was highly motivated and disciplined. He was doing strict fasting, he was doing heavy cardio almost every day, and he was following a rigid keto diet. But still, with all that effort, his numbers were barely moving. He was exhausted, he was injured, and he was burnt out. I remember he said to me, maybe it is what it is. Once you're diabetic, there's no going back. Maybe I should just accept this fact. Fast forward 3 months, things look way different for him. He lost 20 pounds, he dropped about 10% of body fat, and he built muscle. And he normalized his blood sugar levels, all without touching any medications or chasing any extreme plan. But more importantly, health stopped dominating his whole life. He was no longer worrying about health all the time. He was feeling confident and free enough to explore and enjoy other aspects of his life, putting his affairs in order, building a new business, and start traveling with his son. So, here's what I want you to take away from this. Health isn't just a bunch of numbers you're supposed to constantly manage it or obsessively worry about it. It's the very thing that allows you to be who you really want to be and do what you really want to do. Gaining weight, being diagnosed with diabetes or high blood pressure, these are not normal. These are not a normal part of aging. And just because it runs in your family and show up in your friends or have become more common, doesn't mean that you have to accept it as your future too. What I've seen in my patients, in my family, and even in myself is that people don't fail because they don't care. They fail because they think there's only two options for them. One, to do more, put in more effort, almost like a full-time athlete, or to ignore things until your health becomes bad enough that the only solution for you is medication. And while these prescriptions and these medications can help you absolutely with the right context, they do not address the root cause. The root cause of it is in the way that your life is structured. So that's why there's no point in obsessing over the perfect plan. It's about rebuilding a sustainable rhythm for your life that aligns with your biology and supports the way that you want to live instead of limiting it. So if you're watching this and felt some tension inside you, and deep down you refuse this decline, just like me, you refuse this default too, to become your new standard in every aspect of your life, and you want to find your way back to health, but you don't know where to start, I can help you. Just how I help myself, my patients, and my clients. I've shared the next step in the description below. So if you're interested to learn more, please click on the link and let's see how we can help you build your path forward. See you inside.